It's 11:37. It's a little bit later in the evening tonight, and honestly, it should be for me to be doing something along these lines. What's up, guys? I'm back. This time we'll be talking about my role as DP on our latest Adidas editorial campaign. I've been on YouTube watching other YouTubers like do these deliveries so I can see how I can do them better. And a lot of the like keynotes that people talk about on like brief discussion, like overall tone, we miss a lot of that here on my end. I'm not in the conversations with the executives in the first place to get any of that information for what tone is and everything else that's supposed to go on. So I have no key information. The information is not getting directly told to me. As you know, I get a lot of it last second in the first place. So I don't have that information to provide. I hope this time I'm going to provide the absolute most in-depth version of one of these that we've seen so far. Usually they've been pretty run-of-the-mill. So hopefully I'm going to avoid that this go around. The project was shot in Atlanta. We actually had plans to shoot in a couple of different locations. We ended up only really going with one for the entirety of the campaign. It was shot at Cascade. It's a super well-known skating rink in Atlanta, Georgia. So we were permitted to go in there and shoot for a couple of days. We ended up shooting the bulk of the campaign really in one day. We had shot some outdoor stuff, but the director and editor ended up scrapping everything from those days. We were shooting at like 2 p.m., bright sunlight, no scrim, super harsh shadows. Some of that footage ended up being pretty okay. We ended up not using it in the commercial in the first place, so it was fine. We ended up skipping that. As always, gear used on this lovely production was the Fuji X-H2S, the exact same camera I'm filming this on right now. But this go around, we had some extra budget to do some lenses. So it's a mix of the DTO film Vespids as well as the tiny powerhouses, the Sue and Nightwalker Cine set. I'll let you guys play that game of guess the lens on what lens is shot where. Also for a lot of the sequences where it's a lot of fast action and movement where I'm rolling around on roller skates, we'll get to that later. That's also shot on the Sigma 18-35 lens, which is the lens that's currently strapped to the camera now. Just for autofocus capabilities, so I'm not trying to pull and run around and move at the same time. It was going to give myself a headache. Talent-wise, we were lucky enough to get an actual skate crew. We ended up working with Bad Boy Skate Crew out of Atlanta, so that was super, super cool. Had a prior relationship with a couple of members. I used to skate myself way back in the day. There was a different time of my life, long before all the camera stuff. So it was kind of cool to reconnect with everybody on a larger project for like a company like Adidas, and I think they added a lot of oomph to something that could have been a lot less powerful had we only had people who could wobble around. Having people who could really perform the tricks and all the theatrics on the skates added an entire level of complexity. Would have just been impossible with regular like people on rental skates, or if we just grabbed if we had like grabbed standard models. Like think about it, when you think like you had grabbed regular models and just put them in the skates, it wouldn't have had the same impact. So shout out to that team. And shout out to everybody else that we had on set that did an absolutely phenomenal job bringing it all together. Now that I think about it, though, I was just mentioning how I want to be more in depth, but I have a script for this one. But it covers a lot of things that I didn't even do. It's talking about like post-production and editing and blah, 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 blah. I ain't do none of that this go around, which is a change from the regularly scheduled program. I didn't edit this project, so shout out to Keilan, the dog. He edited it, the whole thing, and he directed the whole thing. I don't have any of those BTS clips, and that's one of the larger things that I wish we had more often. I wish we had someone to do BTS, because when I go back to try to make videos like this, I don't have anything to put onto the screen to give you any visual. It's just my mug. But Keilan handled all things, editing, post-processing. Squid was supposed to color. Squid did not color. We're looking at you, Squid. He did not color, so Keilan ended up color. He graded, edited, sound design, the whole works, so shout out to my boy on that. What other details could we include? Yeah, I can't talk to you about brief. I'm super happy with the final product. I hope the rest of the team is. It took a lot of BS and running around to get it done. Along the way, we're really seeing that without like a producer and the rest of the team that would be present on actual campaign and the film sets, without that, wearing the 50,000 hats really does take a toll on a lot of the other aspects. This is one of the first campaigns we got to shoot in a very long time with a director's monitor. This was the first go around in a hot minute where it did not feel like a photography set. And I feel like video shined, the final product for the video shined really, really well. No shade to my photography homies. I know you guys have to get the bread and butter, but this is the first time in a long time where it didn't feel like you're just kind of shooting around aspects like that. So it felt really, really good. So that's probably something I'll probably try to carry into the next projects moving forward. Right now, cooking up something else, NDA, zip lips, can't talk too much about it, but that one's gonna be a good one too. And there is, probably not gonna do a breakdown on it since it was so quick and easy. But there's another one that's gonna drop as well. But if you guys are looking for like a breakdown, and once it drops, you can let me know, and I'll whip up a little something for it. You guys can check out the final video on socials. I'm not sure where it's going to be linked to, whether it's going to be social status, their YouTube page, their Instagram, wherever it is. I'll put it up there for you to view. Let me know if you guys are actually enjoying the breakdowns and how these work, because honestly, there's not too much to talk about. I think hopefully later on, like I've mentioned before, when things get far more in depth and I have a lot more control over a lot of things, there will be a lot of things to talk about. Up until that point, there won't be too much. I will catch you all in the next one.